Awful lot of black people talking about how white people today should be killed off for what white people did a couple of hundred years.
Okay, historically speaking, white folks, what's up with the projection? That's all I'm trying to ask, right? Why are you guys so fearful, and what are you guys fearful of? Now, the only thing that I could really think about historically is the fact that you guys know what it is that you've done internally. It's written, it's encoded in your DNA. You know what it is that you have done and always been doing, right? So we already got that point clear. And you know how it is that you teach within your whole biome ecosystem, whatever it is, how it is that you teach your kids to see black folks and all these other types of things, right? Y'all got some historical paraphernalia, such as postcards, pictures, stories, books, or you guys might even have some keepsakes from some different picnics that were happening right during those times. Might have some things directly in some jars somewhere up in pappy's or grandmom's, attic, right? So you know all of these things and you know your history. So because you're fearful and you think that, it's getting to that point where we're losing power. It seems like things are waning and people are able to take advantage of the circumstances and the situation and to, just all of a sudden do something. Why are you so fearful? Why do you think that automatically that if black people were to get into power or even to get into a position that we would treat you the exact same way that you treated us? It seems like, it's a lot of fear. Seems as though it's a lot of guilt there, but you guys still don't even want to be honest directly with that, because going back to the whole thing of reparations, you guys are like, oh, you guys have never been slaves and this, that, and the third, right? Cool. Let's keep it on that point, right? A lot of people feel that black people of today don't deserve reparations because they weren't slaves. Okay, cool, fine, no problem, right? I'll sit up there just for the devil's advocate's sake. Let's just say we agree, right? So within that exact same framework, wouldn't we say that the white people of today should not have anything to fear of black Americans because they're not the same as their ancestors? Shouldn't that carry within like the same boundaries, right? Shouldn't that be, within the exact same thing? If those who did not go through slavery should not get or receive reparations, white people of today who are not of the past should not be fearful of black Americans. Correct? Even if we were to get in power, you shouldn't be fearful. But oh, wait, here we are. Here we are, where this is not the first time that I've seen a white American step directly online and decide that they wanted to, quote unquote, talk about the millions upon the millions upon the billions of black Americans and how it is that they have a specific feeling or theory on how black Americans look at white folks or think. Like I said, I'm not sure what part of the internet he's specifically on. I'm not sure what his algorithm is on, but I can promise you more than likely he's on some far alternative, types of information when it deals with this, because usually most people, when they make videos like this, especially for TikTok, they will post countless videos. Right? If you're saying that this is how black people feel, it should be nothing for you to sit up there and post thousands of videos. Well, matter of fact, let me not put it to thousands, right? Maybe that's a little bit different. Hundreds of videos. You should easily be able to do that, right? Because if you ask these white people, it's like, yo, show me a whole bunch of videos of black people fighting. Oh, they'll sit up there and bring up terabytes, petabytes, worth of, that, because they just got that downloaded. They just have it there on a server somewhere. But when it deals specifically with topics like this, they don't have that same storage space for information like this. They probably got little to none. Little to none. And again, that's the problem. The main thing that I've always stated directly on this platform is that the greatest weapon that man has ever wielded is fear. Still to this day. No, I don't care about no nuclear anything, no weapon, no viruses. No weapon is greater than fear. No weapon. Every other weapon that you can list is going to take people directly out, and you're going to lose the base of which that you are trying to control or gain control over. Fear is that one thing where you can control the masses. You can control countries. I'm talking about land masses. It's even to the point where you can instill fear directly into animals, and then those animals will instill that fear naturally into their children without you having to raise a hand. That's how strong fear is. That's how it can be engraved. It can be inwoven into one's DNA. It's just there. And people still to this day don't even understand it. But it seems as though that white folks do understand fear. But they only understand it in the sense of, we're going to use this to spin a narrative so that we can control the emotions and how it is that people deem, see, and theorize information when it deals with Black Americans. And here we are. For whatever reason, the same group of people that always sit up there and say that, oh, we're not focused on the blacks, we're not worried about you, and this, that. You guys are always online somehow, some way, making content. Fixated. You don't want to talk about, we got wars going on out here, we got government shutdowns, politics, geopolitical landscape, global warming, climate change, whatever you want to sit up there and talk about, right? You got all of these things, Atlas, right? You got all of these things going on, but you see fit to open up TikTok, sit your camera on a dashboard, try to look as cool and as Viking as you can. And you want to open your mouth and start talking about Black people. You're weird. Y'all are just weird. Like, it's crazy. Like I said, Black people can literally not focus on anybody else. We can just go out there singing. We can go to dance. You got Black folks sitting up there going to church. We can go to barbecues. We can go to skating or ice rinks. We can play basketball, video games. We can go shopping. We could be cooking food for the holidays or a birthday, celebrating a graduation. We could be building, could be entrepreneurs, going through college. Again, just doing anything and minding our business. And here you go. Here you go. When we're not fixated specifically on you, giving you that free energy, here you go to throw something directly out there so you can get just a little bit of energy, because you can't get it from nobody else. And that's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand. The reason why you have a lot of these things transpire is because you have a lot of energy vampires out here. You have a lot of people that are not symbiotic, right? Which means, working in tandem, working directly together as a pair, right? Everything is equal directly straight across the board. No, this is what parasites do. This is what vampires do. They decide that I'm not really going to stick to a host in a sense, but I'm going to siphon energy directly off of you. Enough that, I can pretty much sustain and basically live. And I don't care about the damage that it's going to specifically do directly to you. This is why I say energy vampires, because vampires are not just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to make a whole bunch of like ghouls. I'm going to make a whole bunch of, mini vampires directly. No. Everything is about control. I'm going to be the strongest of the strongest vampires. And, whatever sacrifices come in between that, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Like I said, it's crazy. The projection out here is ridiculous. Y'all need therapy. Y'all really, really need therapy. Like I said before, and what I said in a previous recording that, I decided to erase, is the fact of that when you look historically speaking, Black people have been bombed. We have been displaced. We've had our homes set directly on fire. We've had our towns and cities turned directly to ash. We've had people that are in power that have made laws, regulations, in order to get Black people off of their acres upon acres upon acres upon acres of land, just to pretty much put them into poverty. And then when they're in poverty and don't have nowhere to go, then they want to put them directly into jail. So not only, right, do you guys figure out a way to take Black people's land, you then figure out a way to put them in impoverished conditions, and then to turn around and put them in another worse off condition just so that you can make money off of them hand over fist. Black people don't do this. That's not the way that we think. That's not the way that we go about things. We normally either try to be symbiotic with people, or we will, have people separate. Like I say, you can be where you are and I can be exactly where I am. We're completely fine and dandy. But even, again, historically speaking, even with that, it was not enough. Because Black towns and cities were getting burned down, and it wasn't because, it was the Blacks. They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do. Nope, it was because y'all sat up there and saw Black people having a good time. We was building, we was minding our own business, and y'all decided that y'all wanted to make up some fictitious stories. But since y'all didn't have TikTok and, this good old technology, right, that we got at this moment in time, y'all did it by carrier pigeon. You did it by word of mouth. You did it by newspapers, of which you guys were in control of and wrote. And a lot of the people that were in control of that type of media were on the exact same type of time when it dealt with the negative and the horrendous and the atrocious outlook and the ridiculous amount of stereotypes that y'all wanted to put directly out there in order to feed a violent narrative so that your folks could go out there and do the dirty work. It's crazy. Like I said, a lot of us still got newspaper clips from those times of which you guys were writing so horribly about Black Americans and how it is that legally you guys are able to go through our towns and cities and just have these mobs, pitchforks, tiki torches, well, torches during the time, and you could just do whatever it is that you wanted to do. And a lot of those that were in power, especially law enforcement, they joined in. A lot of those folks that were more than likely in government joined in. A lot of those folks who are more than likely in the medical field joined in. Firefighters as well too, and so on and so on and so on. But now at this moment in time, you feel such great fright because you feel your power slipping. And you feel that Black people are finally going to get their just due, and that the moment in time that they get it, that they're going to magically seek revenge on you because historically this is something that you did to us, so it's going to be returned onto you. No, my friend. No. Let me just give you this. Those who placed us into captivity, shall they themselves be placed into the exact same captivity. Notice, Black people were the only ones that were being put in this captivity when it deals with the great United States. Who were the captors who did that? White Americans. So that means that the exact same captors are going to place their own people into captivity. So again, you're looking and trying to fearmonger about the wrong group of people. What you should be doing is warning your own people about your own people, because they're the ones that are tearing up this country, throwing it directly into debt, and also closing down the government. Again, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. None of these rich political officials care about you at all. But I know a lot of people are too deaf, dumb, and stupid and slow in order to understand that. So people are just going to sit idly by and pick their side and say that blue is better than red and red is better than blue. Okay, you can go have your gang battles. And we're going to see how that normally goes, because the people at the top are going to be the only ones that's going to make it. They're going to survive. They're going to be the only ones to profit directly off of both sides, because they're smart enough to understand that if they throw fear, they throw a wedge directly in there, that the rest is going to do what it needs to do. And that's clearly what people are doing, especially white Americans. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.